Hey, I'll let you take care of my mom's caregiving. I'm trusting you, so make sure to handle it, okay? Yes, understood. A sudden caregiving request from my energetic mother-in-law Elin. I pretended to obediently comply and resolved to repay double for what she done to me. My name is Aubrey, a 30-year-old housewife. I've been married to my husband Hudson for 2 years. However, a problem arose, causing a strain in our relationship. It was because Hudson's salary had significantly decreased. It wasn't Hudson's fault. There was a common part-time job terrorism incident, and the company suffered massive losses due to rumors. Although Hudson was capable at his job and managed to avoid being laid off, there was the option of changing jobs. However, he didn't want to do that because even if he changed jobs now, the salary would remain the same, and he would have to start over in his career. So, he decided to endure for now. He used to get high salary, so we could manage our lives if we economize our spending. I focused on saving money daily, considering saving money and the future of our potential children. To earn more, I started working part-time. Hudson complained, but when given the choice between splitting household chores or living a frugal life, he chose the former. Still, it was a life for 2 grown-ups, and household chores weren't too demanding. Yet, without me noticing, Hudson began neglecting his share of the chores. Instead of letting him do it poorly, I found it easier to do everything myself, and gradually, I took over all household chores. Relying on an unreliable person only make me exhausted mentally. I'm not a perfectionist, so I cooked only easy meals and invested in a Roomba for cleaning, leaving it to the machine. I don't complain, and I won't let anyone complain. While living this way, working hard day by day, the New Year season arrived. I despise this season now. Why? Because it's a given that we gather at my in-laws' place during New Year's, and I don't like that. If the in-laws are kind, there's no problem, but Elin is a classic mean person. Complaints come before greetings, and though she doesn't lay a hand on you, her words sure do. That's Elin. I get snide remarks every time we meet. Listen to this year's exchange, and judge for yourself if she's mean or not. Happy New Year, Elin. Oh. The grandchild isn't coming this year either? Oh, that's right. You haven't given birth yet. I even prepared a New Year's gift for the grandchild. With a rustling poachy envelope, she guides me to the living room. Anyone hearing this wouldn't just think she's waiting for a grandchild. Afterwards, she freely criticizes me with my cooking and manners. More importantly, where's the grandchild? Since you're a housewife, make something bring out energy, and hurry up and have a child. Elin, that's sexual harassment. Besides, I'm currently working part-time, so there are no plans for that now. It seems Hudson didn't tell out current situation to her, and Elin frowned. Isn't it bad to work before having a child? Moreover, Hudson is working and providing, so why do you need to work? Could it be that you're pretending to work and having an affair, getting support from another man? Why would working lead to that in the first place? And the reason for working in the first place? When I try to explain, Hudson interrupts. Mom, it's the New Year's holiday. Let's forget about work for now. We finally got a chance to meet. Saying that, Hudson winks and says, I've got your back. But that can't be called having someone's back. On the day we leave, we quickly get in the car, and I immediately start complaining to Hudson. Hey, I don't want to attend your family gatherings anymore. Don't be selfish. I got your back properly, didn't I? I feel fed up. Hudson confidently speaks, as if he got my back. But with that, I can't expect much in the future. Anyway, I don't plan to meet your mother anymore. If you're invited to your parents' place in the future, Go alone. That won't work. Just quickly, get along with my mom. It's tough being caught in the middle. Thinking we couldn't communicate, I cut off the conversation. From then on, days passed without conversation. Even if Elin called me, I declined, using work as the reason. After a while, I was approached by the company to work as a full-time employee. I found it very appealing. It was completely different from the initial agreement. He didn't do household chores, and there was no prospect of Hudson's salary increasing. Considering various possibilities, I decided to think positively about becoming a full-time employee. I thought he would probably disagree with that, but surprisingly, my husband easily agreed, and I was amazed. Not wanting to miss this opportunity, I became a full-time employee. Although the working hours increased, the sense of accomplishment grew, and I managed to handle household chores while working as a full-time employee. If I neglected household chores, I would break the promise with Hudson, and I wouldn't be able to talk to him about it. I put effort into household chores, thinking I could handle them well even alone, and I worked hard beyond my expectations. Since I was doing well, Hudson didn't say anything in particular. I had thought I would retort if he did, but it seemed Hudson's job had become busier, and he started coming home late more often. With an increase in overtime work, perhaps he didn't have time to pay attention to my household chores. Income stabilized, and life became more comfortable. With all that, maybe we could work on our relationship, and even if we had children, we could raise them without any problems. However, my expectations were easily betrayed. It happened when I attended a company drinking party. On that day, Hudson had also mentioned a drinking party, so I was out drinking until late after a long time. After the first round ended, when we were planning to go to karaoke with some close female colleagues, I noticed my husband coming out from a bar a little distance away. I thought of going to talk to him, but hesitated, thinking it might be intrusive, since he was drinking with his colleagues. While contemplating, I kept looking at my husband. Then, a young woman came out from behind him and wrapped her arms around Hudson. I couldn't believe what I just saw and rubbed my eyes. There was Hudson, with a smile on his face, and a young woman gazing at him in admiration. The two of them walked towards the downtown area together. There probably wasn't anyone else they were drinking with. I was not certain, but my woman's intuition was telling me something. That was definitely an affair. My drunken deduction was like a great detective. Looking at those two flirting, what's going on? Oh, that age difference is probably an affair. It's rare for a young girl to get serious with a slightly balding, chubby middle-aged man. A junior who lacked consideration boldly cut into the conversation, unknowingly judging my husband. However, since we got to the same conclusion, it seems my intoxication was not due to deduction, but rather the alcohol itself. I was not in a mood to sing anymore, so I declined going to karaoke. Even after returning home, I couldn't calm down. When did my husband start having an affair? Was it started when I became busy with my part-time job, or was it after becoming a full-time employee? I had no idea and no clues. It seems I won't be becoming a great detective anytime soon. I couldn't shake off the feeling of unease. Determined to know the truth, I decided to hire a real detective to investigate. Soon enough, evidence piled up, confirming that my husband was indeed having an affair. However, what shocked me even more were photos taken by the detective, capturing my husband, his affair partner, and Elin entering my in-laws' house together, or going out together. Why would Elin be with my husband and his affair partner? Either way, it was confirmed that Elin was aware of my husband's affair. I immediately thought of getting a divorce. However, at that very moment, I received a bad news. John had passed away in a traffic accident. Since John had been done a lot for me, I focused on sending off John and had no time to confront my husband about the affair or contemplate divorce. After the funeral, when things seemed to settle down, my husband made a surprising proposal. Mom had a fall and injured her leg due to the shock of her loss. The diagnosis says she'll be bedridden. What? Isn't that tough? Well, considering Dad's accident, I understand it's shocking. Hudson nodded in agreement. So, I have a little favor to ask. I'm thinking of bringing Mom here. Since you were bullied by her, you probably don't want that, Hudson said with a dejected expression. So, I made it clear. Well, that can't be helped. You gonna hire a helper or something? Huh? Isn't that the wife's job? You said that it can't be helped, right? All right, got that on record. From the teary face just a moment ago, to suddenly a smug expression. Even a seasoned poker-faced player would be impressed. Knowing about the affair, I decided to align my words with Hudson's apparent sincerity. Hey, I'll let you take care of my mom's caregiving. I'm trusting you, so make sure to handle it, okay? Yes, understood. Hudson showed an expression that he suffered disappointment. Is that really okay? What about your job? Are you sure you can handle it? You're persistent. I said it's okay. Why? You don't want me to do it? I can do caregiving, since I can also work remotely if needed. Hudson seems puzzled, perhaps surprised by the unexpected response. You got the answer you wanted, so why are you looking so troubled? I couldn't help but almost burst into laughter. Since then, we started living with Elin. It seemed like Elin and my husband had devised a plan, and it involved tormenting me. Without delay, Elin put the plan into action. Aubrey, what are you doing at this time? Hurry up and make dinner. Huh? Weren't you a housewife, so isn't this inefficient? I've already prepared everything, so it'll be done quickly. Elin, you're getting older, so you shouldn't eat too much, right? With a resentful click of her teeth, Elin looks frustrated. Watch and learn. I'll whip up something quickly. Saying that, Elin angrily prepared dinner, seemingly forgetting the pretense of being bedridden. They must have wanted to exploit me, treating me like a slave, and hoping to drive me out. If they succeeded, they could bring that woman over without revealing the affair, avoid paying alimony, and get a divorce. That seemed to be their plan. However, if I didn't leave, they wouldn't be able to get together with that woman. It would become my revenge against them. Yet, Elin's harassment was worse than I anticipated. She would overturn the dishes I made and persistently ask about grandchildren. Hudson would laugh at it too. Even if you already knew their plan, being bullied is quite emotionally wrenching. Why can someone who became family treat me so horribly? At this point, it's going to affect and cause trouble for my work, even though they allowed me do work from home. In fact, during a video conference, Elin loudly interrupted. Hey, hurry up and make dinner. Come on, be useful for once. This caused quite a stir. So, I decided it was time to counterattack. When Elin said she wanted to take a bath, I saw an opportunity and acted. Elin, the bath is ready. I'll help you get in. Oh, you're considerate. But I can manage on my own. There was no escape. Elin is already 75 years old, because she gave birth to Hudson late. In the first place, Hudson and I have a 10-year age difference, and even between my mother and mother-in-law, the age gap is almost like that between parent and child. At the age of 75, it wouldn't be surprising to need health care or assistance. Huh? But I heard your legs aren't good. Hudson mentioned you're bedridden. Oh, yeah, my legs are certainly weak, but he exaggerated a bit. I can move around to some extent, so I can take a bath alone. Saying that, Elin entered the bathroom. Well, I already knew. Her legs weren't that bad, so I let her be. She should have listened to my advice. Then, I immediately heard screams from the bathroom. I suppressed a laugh and rushed over to Elin, and Hudson was already there before me. Why doesn't he move like this quick more often? What happened? What's going on? It wasn't hot water. It's cold, so cold. I thought my heart stopped. Shivering and slumped over Elin. Seeing me, her pale skin turned bright red, and she became furious. Wait, Aubrey, you didn't heat the bath, did you? Huh? Oh, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, I must have forgotten. I said with a smirk. Oh, so you did it on purpose. Is that it? You're messing with Mom, who's already old. If that's true, it's attempted murder. Not yet, I must not laugh yet. I have to endure until victory is certain. What are you talking about? I would never do such a thing. It just made a little mistake. I'm such a careless person. You're really a dangerous daughter-in-law, unbelievable. Shouldn't you get a different wife? I don't need a daughter-in-law like you anymore. Upon hearing those lines, it seemed like Hudson realized it was the signal for the plan. Indeed, Aubrey's recent actions have been quite conspicuous. We need to reconsider continuing our marriage. There's no way I can entrust my mom to you. No, maybe we should just get a divorce? Ah, I see. It's simpler than I thought. Well then, let's go along with that script. Yeah, we might as well get divorced. We won't get any compensation for this mistake, but maybe splitting our assets and parting ways is the best way to minimize the damage for both of us. When I said that, both Elin and husband exchanged satisfied looks. Such an obvious parent-child duo. All right, then go ahead and sign this right away, my husband said, pushing the divorce papers in front of me. Oh, you already had these prepared? It's like you've been planning this for a while. Oh, shut up. Every single time, you're such a useless wife, so I prepared for the worst-case scenario. Fine, we don't need any alimony from each other. Let's just hurry up and get divorced. This time, no alimony, huh? In other words, my innocence has been proven. I casually signed the divorce papers and decided to reveal the truth. Huh? No alimony is unacceptable. You must properly pay the alimony for the affair. I haven't done anything wrong. It's 10-0, you're the one at fault, so you should pay me unilaterally. Huh? Both froze at my declaration. I never thought they believed they hadn't been exposed after all. I informed them that I had collected evidence photos and messages over time, and I also had recorded conversations between the two, discussing this plan while sharing these pieces of evidence. Even Elin was in it, supporting your son's foolishness. It's impressive how much you love your son. Thanks to that, I could divorce Hudson with his 100% fault. I can't thank enough to your mother. Well then, I'll be leaving, so enjoy playing with the young girl drowning in debt. I had already packed my things, so all I had to do was leave with this bag. They didn't seem to have noticed that my belongings were gone. Probably because I occasionally sent things to my parents. It must have felt like an aha moment for them. Upon hearing my words, Hudson's face turned pale, and he reacted. Wait a minute. What do you mean by drowning in debt? If I pay you alimony, I'll lose all my savings. Please, reconsider the divorce. It's the result of careful consideration that led me to this point. It's too late to try to get close now. By the way, I've also sent a certified letter to the parents of that young girl. Thanks for letting them know we were married. Ignorance won't be an excuse. You are such a good son who devoted to supporting his mother, with no inheritance, huh? Elin wore a puzzled expression, asking, why? Actually, Johns will stated that the entire inheritance would be donated to local association. All that was left was money for the funeral and burial. He was fed up with his family and had confided everything in me. So, I took care of all the procedures, including the funeral. I'm sure John would be telling me to escape. It's good that he was taken care of in the end. With this mother and son, he might not have found peace. Well then, I'll leave the rest to the lawyer, and we won't be meeting again. Saying that, I left the house. Later on, I formally requested the lawyer I had consulted with, and demanded alimony from both of them. I sent a certified letter to Hudson's workplace. As the affair partner was a junior at the company, they were both dismissed collectively. It seems Hudson had planned to divorce at a time when he could get promoted, and the affair was exposed at the worst possible moment. Hudson's company president hated infidelity, as he himself had divorced due to his wife's affair. Although Hudson could manage to avoid being fired, he was transferred to a regional office and treated poorly as a new employee. Elin, caught in her lies, actually became physically disabled. After that, things got tense between Hudson and her. In retaliation, Hudson filled the bathtub with water, just like I had done before. However, this time, she slipped and suffered lingering effects. At the age of 75, being bedridden increases the risk of developing conditions like dementia. While that's a concern for Elin, I worry more about whether she'll cause trouble for anyone else besides Hudson. Hudson, now with no money and a bedridden mother requiring care, and his girlfriend left him. Well, Hudson was just a cash cow. Apparently, Hudson was shocked, and has lost his hair more. You might wonder how I know all this. It's thanks to the detective. Hudson's girlfriend had a wealthy fiancé. And Hudson was nothing more than a sugar daddy. Since I was a fiancé drowning in debt, I assumed I would shoulder everything and demanded alimony for the affair from her fiancé. It was out of blue for him, and he contacted me. After I handed over the evidence, their engagement was naturally broken off, and the alimony amount escalated. Now she works in a nightclub, selling her body. In a way, I thought it was the perfect job for her. I've truly come to believe that you can't do bad things. Now, with a fresh start ahead of me, I'll look at my bank balance with a grin and start exploring what I want to do.